What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin continuing to consolidate sideways, attempting multiple times to break this very critical resistance right here. Remember, this is where we had this high right before we had that FTX dump. And if we come over here, you're noticing that we keep trying to break through it, right? We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We're trying to break through it today as well. But the question is, will the bulls be able to break through it? Now, there are some things that we're seeing on chain right now. Oh, and by the way, some people are saying that this is a bull flag. I'm actually going to let you know technically what's going on right now with that. We will talk about that. But there is something very interesting. So number one, there was $5 billion of Bitcoin that was purchased anonymously during this pump. And number two, we have this massive whale orders on these heat maps, right? On this heat map. And the question is this multiple whales or is it actually just the same entity placing multiple orders? There's a lot of different things that we need to look at. And don't forget, not to be the bearer of bad news or anything like that, but the crypto contagion still continues. There is a lot of turmoil right now still happening with Genesis and Gemini and Digital Currency Group and Grayscale. They own CoinDesk, the news website, right? So there's still a lot of issues that we have to pay attention to. And the other thing I want to talk about is that we know that the World Economic Forum is over in Davos right now, and there is some proof that some massive regulation could be coming. So if all that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, we are going to hop into the charts. But I just wanted to give you guys some breaking news, which I thought was really awesome. So as you guys know, Bitget is the exchange that I am currently using. And now they have become the first centralized exchange to launch copy trading in the spot market. So I'm just letting you guys know this because obviously we know that leverage trading is very, very risky, and I don't obviously recommend it to any beginners at all. But now they have copy trading if you guys want to copy on spot. So you don't have to risk, getting liquidated and losing all your money. The only thing that would happen is, maybe your dollar value goes down or your Bitcoin value might go down, but you won't actually lose the underlying asset. And you can see right here, they've had some top traders up here, 1,300%, 900%, 800%. So obviously, if you guys are interested in this, make sure that you use the link in the description, because if you use the Crypto Zombie bonus, you get an extra $10,000 on top of the $8,000. So when you go to register, you can either just click the link below or just enter this referral code NYNL, and that makes you eligible. But I thought that's pretty cool because they are the first to offer this. Everyone else just offers leverage trading. This is spot trading. So it's a lot safer. You can follow these guys that are, professional traders. Just wanted to let you guys know it's a really cool option if you guys want to trade a little bit safer. Of course, if you do want to learn, make sure that you watch the tutorial that I did put out, though, popping up above. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, just really cool, first exchange to really ever offer spot. So I wanted to mention that. So let's hop in. Let's have a look at this chart. One of the things we notice is that we are still above this 200 daily, right? So on the short term, we could say that this is pretty bullish because the last time that this happened right here, we got rejected. And I do want to put back on, these parallel channels that we were sort of forming right here, or these bear flags, whatever you want to call them. You could see that we had 4 of them, and we knew that there was absolutely no way we were going to get a 5th one, right? There was just too many things pointing to the fact that this move was going to be a move to the upside. So really, as long as Bitcoin holds above that $19,500 level, stays above and flips this resistance into support, we could have a run. You could see up here, even though, it didn't really last super long, but once we got above it, Bitcoin went from 44,000 all the way up to 52,000. We had a fake out again down to 40, and then we had that final bounce up to 70. So we want to see Bitcoin stay above that, right? We are holding above the 21 exponential. And honestly, if we were to, continue this move to the upside, if we had one of these crazy rallies like we had back here, where we had this sort of mid-cycle rally to 14K and then kind of had that dip all the way back down, I think looking right here, if Bitcoin is able to maintain its bullishness, I don't see why Bitcoin could not get up to here in this pocket somewhere between 28,700 and 31,800. Now, if we did get up to that level, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, I do think we would have a pullback at some point down to a lower level, even if we do break this trend. I just don't think that if you just look at everything that's going on right now in the macro, it just wouldn't make sense, right now to have that kind of a move. And also, you don't want that kind of a move because it's not actually healthy to have that kind of a big move, because as you can see right here, we came all the way up only to come all the way back down again, right? Because the move happened too fast, right? You don't want to have the move happen too fast. And also, just pointing it out, we still have the CME futures gap. So, minimally, you could be anticipating at some point. I mean, we could go all the way as high as touching this downtrend, right? So the downtrend is up here at around 22,700 on futures. So we could go all the way up there, but I do still think we're going to end up closing this CME futures gap probably before we end up closing the one, honestly, up here at around 28,000. That's just my opinion, though. My opinion doesn't mean anything. I'm just a guy on the internet. Really what we pay attention to here is the charts. And even though we've tried to break above this key level, we do still keep hitting that resistance. And the other thing, and I know this is not Bitcoin, but you got to admit they are correlated. That is concerning me, even though we have put in, a higher low here, right? We are going up on the SPX, the S&P 500. We are still in a downtrend, putting in lower highs, and we are still being held down by this resistance, right? Now, I just want to point something out. If you actually look it up, this is called a descending broadening wedge. And you can see right here, it's a megaphone. It's getting bigger and bigger as it goes down. This is actually a bullish pattern, okay? So when we do have the breakout for the S&P, it should be a pretty big breakout as long as it's not a fake out, right? So the ultimate move will be massive. The same thing for Bitcoin, giant falling wedge. It will be massive. It's just, when are we going to get that move? Is it right now? Well, here's the situation that we have. So starting off with the conspiracy first, and then we'll move on to the actual on-chain data. You could see material indicators, and they're really good at looking at these heat maps. They ask the question, is a whale with $4 million trying to run the whale with the $22 million buy wall? Or could it possibly just be the same whale? Not sure if this is what it appears to be or if it's the same entity. Whatever the case, the net effect helps push price up, and one or both could get rugged if price approaches. Speculating that it could be the same whale using the $4 million to insulate their $22 million and give enough time to rug the $22 million if the $4 million gets hit. Of course, this is just a theory. Jason A. Williams comes out, right? And he says $5 billion of Bitcoin was purchased this weekend by an anonymous buyer who thinks it was the U.S. government. Now, I had put out a short video. You guys may have seen the whole Tucker Carlson thing, and this has nothing to do with politics, guys. I don't really personally care. I don't take either side. It was just an interesting theory. We have, in fact, seen a lot of these ransoms being offered or being asked to be paid in Bitcoin. In fact, before we get into this, I will tell you a true story. I have a friend who works in a doctor's office. His doctor's office got hacked. They got all of the patients' and clients' information, and they were going to leak it, right? Which I guess isn't a big deal to me. I mean, you could leak my public info on my health. I don't care if you know what I do. But to some people, this is very sensitive information. And the firm, the office, actually ended up paying in Bitcoin. They did. They surrendered. It was a lot too. It was like 25 or 50 or some crazy number in Bitcoin. And this is when Bitcoin was higher than the price it is today. So this does happen. Now, we're not saying that it is the US government that is doing this. Zoran says, how is it possible to do this without an announcement or hide it for a long time? Quite impossible to me. And Jason says, oh yeah, have you ever checked the Pentagon's annual audit? Buying tens of billions of dollars of Bitcoin and keeping it secret to me is highly unlikely. Tens of billions, yes. 5 billion, no. The jet malfunctioned and exploded. Poof, $5 billion gone. $5 billion is nothing. Exactly. So, is this the U.S. government buying? There was this conspiracy that, the ground stop was ransom. Look, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that whoever did push it up is some type of a big entity, right? We were saying maybe it's Apple, or maybe it's a sovereign wealth fund or some other big country or company or something like that. Like, we don't really know, but it is quite interesting to see that, you do have these whales trying to front run each other, and then you do have 5 billion purchased anonymously. The other thing too is I'm surprised that they didn't do it through OTC. That would have been the smartest thing to do. But anyway, guys, I digress. That's that. Conspiracies out the window. Let's forget about it. A lot of people get triggered and offended when you talk about stuff like that. So let's stick to the facts. These are the facts. This is on-chain data. Glassnode points out for the first time since June, Bitcoin has seen a greater volume of profits realized on-chain than losses. During bear cycles, this trend tends to act as a psychological level where investors sell at or near break even, creating resistance. Now, to also back that up from sentiment, you could see right here, traders are behaving like they believe that this could be the top of the move. You can see right here that they've been taking massive profit. So it says Bitcoin is seeing its highest profit TX ratio since February of last year, and Ethereum is seeing its highest since October of last year. So, are these big whales using this as exit liquidity? Remember that you sell into strength and you buy into weakness. Right? So that's sort of the thing that we have to consider. Now, as I said, it's possible that this move goes higher. This move could take us still to about 25,000, but we are starting to notice that there is becoming a bit of a weakness in the chart. In fact, I don't have it pulled up right now, but yesterday we were talking about the money flow, and you can kind of see that, it's leveling out and almost starting to go down again. So, was that sort of the end of the big move? Again, we're waiting for confirmation. We don't really have any confirmation to the upside or to the downside yet. We're hanging in no man's land after a giant 25% move. That's what we're doing. We're waiting to see. A lot of people keep asking me, do you think it's going to go up? Do you think it's going to go down? There is no confirmation to either direction. We have to actually see if it gets fully rejected. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, let me just give you a straightforward example. Let me go back here. So what do I mean by getting rejected? What I mean is, for example, we're continuing sideways. We're not doing anything right now. We're just going sideways and up a little bit. Okay, we're going up a little bit, but this is on the 4 hour. So, a break to the downside. What are we looking for? We're looking for a break down to here. We come back up. We hit this resistance, right? If I extended that out, it would be a little bit longer. Something like that. So we come down, we come up, and then we get rejected like that. And then, once we get that rejection coming back down, that's when okay, it's time to short, right? And vice versa. The same way goes the other way. Once we come up here, I wouldn't give full confirmation on this level just yet, on this 21,500, only because we do have this upwards parallel channel. So I would want to see us first, get support on here, break out of this channel, retest the channel, okay, and then start to move up. That would be confirmation to the upside. We don't have any of that. We have none of that. All we have is Bitcoin hitting major resistance, okay, not being able to break above the major resistance thus far, and just consolidating in a parallel channel. So there is no confirmation for where the move is going. You're basically taking a guess right now. It's a 50-50, right? Once we get that confirmation, which, by the way, I highly suggest you do get subscribed, turn on the bell notifications. Sometimes I make videos in the afternoon. I put out a video the other day at 9 o'clock at night. A lot of people missed it because they didn't have their notifications on. So, I am here trying to let you know when I see these big moves. And yeah, basically just get subscribed, like I said. So I don't even know where we were, guys. Oh, we were looking at this data. So that's enough, I think, for the charts and for the data. I want to talk about some of the other news today. I got a little bit more news to go over. So the first thing I want to talk about is this crypto contagion. I actually need a drink of water, guys. 1 second. Is this crypto contagion? So FTX obviously caused a bit of an avalanche, a bit of a downfall, that kind of trickled into all these other companies and stuff. And you could see right here, so you've probably been hearing a lot about this bank, right? Silvergate. They are a crypto-friendly bank and financial service provider. So they have officially posted a loss of $949 million for the final 3 months of just last year. Massive losses in the past few weeks have forced the company to lay off 40% of its staff. It expects to part way with about another $8.1 million in restructuring costs, and customers had withdrawn a whopping $8 billion just during that quarter. The bank run, included Silvergate's customers withdrawing 68% of all the deposits held on behalf of the crypto industry. From September 30th to December 31st alone, they shed 52 digital asset customers. So this is not good, right? This is not good. You had 68% of their funds being removed, and you had 52 customers pretty much leaving. Obviously, FTX being one of them, obviously. But, a lot of these other guys were are currently relying on this bank as well. Not to mention the fact that the SEC has now charged Genesis and Gemini okay, Gemini Trust, who has a bit license in New York, just think about that, with offering and selling unregistered securities to hundreds of thousands of investors through their EARN program. The charges were announced during the same week as U.S. prosecutors and the SEC started investigating Digital Currency Group over transfers between crypto conglomerate the crypto conglomerate and one of its subsidiaries. Crypto investors are worried that Digital Currency Group, which also owns digital asset manager Grayscale, and they also own CoinDesk, and they're also, in a lot of other things as well, may become another casualty in the string of bankruptcies, and they may have to sell off some of their assets, right? Digital Currency Group, continuing on, the parent of ailing crypto company Genesis Global, has said that it has halted quarterly dividends to conserve funds. It has halted its quarterly dividends. But don't worry, guys, everything's fine. Everything's okay. This is what I'm saying. It may not be over just yet. These things sometimes they trickle down a bit, and this is what concerns me. We still have to get some of these bad actors out of the space. Getting FTX out was a big win for the crypto space. It was not a big win for the people who lost their funds. That sucks, but obviously, guys, not your keys, not your coins. Don't keep more funds on the exchange than you're willing to lose. I know a broken record on that, but ultimately right now they've stopped sending quarterly dividends to their shareholders. Now, this came out in a letter that Barry Silbert sent out, and they were saying that they're doing this to enhance their balance sheet by reducing operational costs. According to the reports, the group shut down its wealth management business HQ Digital earlier this month, and it became yet another victim of the FTX implosion. Since the FTX collapse, DCG has been employing a drastic cost-cutting measure. Grayscale laid off 30% of their employees, and Genesis closed its headquarters? I didn't know that. But anyway, Digital Currency subsidiary is reportedly considering selling off assets from its sizable venture portfolio to obtain money. So just be wary, guys. There still could be that last event. Now, would it be a black swan event? No. It wouldn't be a black swan because people kind of know there's something going on. So there is that natural hesitation in the markets. But my favorite tweet from Barry, and I don't know where the original tweet got deleted. This was from 2019. I'm a complete and total professional failure. Wish I could short myself. And I bet those words are coming back to haunt you right now, Barry. So, talking about regulation, the fun part of the video that I'm sure everybody stayed for. But it's coming, guys. It's happening. So, we had Caroline Pham, the CFTC commissioner, recently calling on regulations to provide clearer guidance on crypto assets this year. In an interview with Bloomberg, she mentioned discussions with global players over crypto regulations that are ongoing. The government official said many foreign discussions are currently happening about global industry standards for crypto regulations. What I'd like to see is the CFTC and other regulators provide more guidance this year, and I'm very hopeful that perhaps we will see more clarity in the United States. Now, if we actually come over here, we know that we had all of these bankers and regulators meeting in Davos for the World Economic Forum thing or whatever the heck the thing is that goes on. These guys, they all get together and generally they don't agree with each other, but they did find some common ground on the topic of crypto. Now, I'm not going to go into every person. There's all these different people. They have really foreign names. I'm not going to try to pronounce all these people's names, but one of them said, originally that they had taken their eye off the ball with respect to the non-banking sector. Another one said the greatest challenge today is non-banks. Performance of money market funds, UK pension funds hit by liability-driven instruments, and the collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX. All of them have one common feature. They are all linked with non-banks. And here we lag behind. It's more difficult because it's a very evolving landscape. We should rush to some urgent non-bank regulation, starting with crypto. You also had Citigroup Incorporated executive Jane Fraser saying it was important to step back from debating crypto as this new shiny object, right? It's here, it's clearly staying, it's clearly making a mark. So instead, they need to turn to more urgent consideration. So let's focus on the issues that really matter to the world right now, she said. How do we weather through the storms we're facing at the moment? So this is big, and you guys may have seen Kevin O'Leary's interview over on, was it Kitco? Was it Kitco News or was it Stansberry? It might have been I don't remember where. I think it was Kitco. And he basically came out and was saying that the regulators are getting frustrated. They're getting tired of every couple months having this big FTX collapse, and that they are going to be making big moves soon because they know that they can't close Pandora's box. They need to regulate it. They need to protect the consumers, protect them. They need to tax them, right? Of course. And he thinks it's a good thing and it could be coming sooner than later. But hey, guys, guess what? Regulation would actually be good for crypto regardless of whether or not Bitcoin needs it. The reality is Bitcoin does not need regulation. Bitcoin does not need bankers. Bitcoin does not need control, okay? It works fine. The protocol works just the way it's supposed to work, and it will continue to work nonstop forever for eternity, right? It's a beautiful design. But financially speaking, I know a lot of people are not using Bitcoin to just send money around the world. A lot of people are speculating on it. A lot of people want to hold it as a reserve. And there's a lot of other cryptos in the space that could be securities. There's a lot of, bad actors. And the regulation, if you want the price to get to these levels that we talk about, you're going to need regulation. Unless, of course, Bitcoin becomes the global reserve through the fact that, I don't know, there's like a nuclear holocaust or something. But at that point, what are you really going to be concerned about? Probably more like food, shelter, ammunition, stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, not to be all doom and gloom, I want to end on a positive note here. This is a good note. This is a positive way to end the video. So, brokerage firm Bernstein has advised institution to dabble into crypto and give up their zero allocation strategy. In a research report that came out earlier this week, the asset manager said crypto is poised to pivot from a fat infrastructure thesis to a fat application thesis in 2023, laying the foundation for a decade-long golden age of innovation of cryptocurrency applications. It's pretty bullish outlook from Bernstein. The company also said that 2023 will be the best year for institutions to create their crypto strategy. They said, get off the zero allocation. For institutional investors with no allocation to crypto, 2023 might be the best time to start placing the building blocks for a long-term strategy. Bernstein said retail traders have been the pushing force behind the crypto development to date. Going forward, we expect growth to be driven by institutional investors with participation in onshore regulated structures. So there you go, guys. That is ultimately everything going on basically in crypto today. Of course, having a look at this, you guys can see right now, on the 4 hour, we are having this live rejection. And if I switch it to the daily, not too much to really look at, right? Red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle. Very indecisive day yesterday. That's what we're looking at. So right now I'm looking on the 4 hour. It's a little bit easier to see. Ultimately, though, we need to break either way and get that confirmation. Once we get that confirmation, we can start trading. And again, if you guys do want to trade, I highly suggest that you check out Bitget. Whatever. I'm not telling you to use a VPN or not, but they really don't care what you do. I'm just saying they don't KYC. Whatever. I can't tell you guys to do that. Don't do that. Don't use a VPN. Whatever. But yeah, they don't KYC, and they do have this copy trading thing. And if you guys want to get the extra bonuses, there are a lot of other bonuses floating around the internet, but I have one of the highest bonuses because, we've obviously been involved in Bitget for quite a long time. And, I did a lot of research on these guys for like 2 years before even getting involved with them and using them, because I don't trust really any exchanges. So if you guys want to use the code NYNL, you guys can get that extra $10,000 bonus, and you can get over $56,000 in bonuses total if you want to use it below. And again, they're offering spot copy trading now, so much safer. You know what I mean? At least you don't lose your assets. You might lose your dollar value, you might lose your Bitcoin value, but you're not going to get liquidated and lose everything. So it could be a good opportunity. Obviously, copy trading comes with risks too. You never know, because you're kind of blindly putting your faith in somebody else. But ultimately, guys, make sure you take advantage of all that below. And of course, get a ledger, get all that other stuff. But thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. If you're not following me on all of my other socials, check the links below, guys. I'm posting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and I'm making sure to put out a little bit of different content on some of the platforms, so it's not like the same content on everything. So there is some stuff that you will see on some of these other platforms that you won't see on YouTube or others, so you might just want to check it out if you want to get everything, you want to get the full experience. But ultimately, that's it for me. Thank you for coming back to the channel. That's it for me, guys. I love you. You're awesome. I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day today. Just waiting for that move. And that's it for me. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you haven't checked out this video popping up right here, right now, check it out. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.